Hey, what's up guys? Disney Nuts here with another how I shot this video. And today I'm going to show you how I shot the train conductor. Like this. Okay, pretty cool, right? Now this picture actually came just by fun. It was something that came up by total accident. And I was walking around Epcot one day and I'd actually put on the telephoto lens on the camera, which is something that I don't usually use, trying to shoot something different and force myself to look at different angles and different things. Because as we all know, Disney's got tons of details and there's always something to shoot. So while I was walking nearby the German Pavilion at Epcot, I realized that the trains were going around. And while we've taken photos of this 1,000 times in many different angles and stuff like that, I noticed that you could actually see the people inside the trains. And I said, wouldn't it be cool to try to be able to take a photograph of the conductor? Now, believe it or not, it's actually a pretty hard photo to capture. Because again, you got the trains that are moving at the same time and you're trying to focus in on a small little detail, which is the front of the train. So it's not as easy as it looks, which is why I did this video for you guys, so you can actually go ahead and capture them yourself. Okay, camera setting guys, this one's pretty simple. Basically we're going to be using the shutter priority mode on the camera, which is TV on the dial, and we're going to be setting it to 1/1000th of a second. And the reason we're going to be setting this so high is that we want to be able to freeze the action as the train goes coming by. Again, the train is moving, so we want to be able to capture that and freeze it at that specific moment. Now with that said also, we do need to set our focus mode to all servo. And what all servo does is that as soon as we press the shutter, we don't press it completely, as soon as we press it halfway, it's going to make the camera continuously focus on the object as it's coming by. So when we're standing on that location, which the train is coming from left to right, pressing that shutter release halfway, it's going to have the lens focus continuously until we can get a really good shot of the guy in the train, in this case, the conductor. So those are the two things most important that we have setting up for this type of shot. Now the other stuff we can leave as automatic, for example like f-stop and the ISO, we'll leave those as automatic because again, what we want to focus on here is the shutter priority and set it to 1/1000th of a second. And that should be able to good enough for you to take the photo. Now I will be honest with you guys, it did take a while to be able to capture this photo, so don't feel frustrated if you don't get it right off of the bat. But again, that's what makes this type of photography fun and challenging, because it's something that it's new and it's something that you're not usually accustomed to do. So go out there and have fun with it and shoot that conductor, and good luck guys. Okay, so we made it to the German Pavilion, and this pavilion actually has two restaurants. There's actually one on the left, which is this one right over here, which is the Bergarten restaurant, which is supposedly like Oktoberfest all year long. And then you got the quick service right over here, which is the Summerfest, which is basically like a walk-up window. You can pick up some goodies. Let's go ahead a little closer and I'll show you the menus of each one of the locations. Let's go. It's funny because this entrance actually is and what was going to be the ride that they were going to do here in the German Pavilion, but eventually it did not happen, so made it into a food place. Here's the menu for the place. And this is what it is. Let's go inside. As you can see, it's somewhat like a little quick service window right over here. You get some goodies. Okay. And then right over here on the back is the entrance to the restaurant. As you can see, the two entrances go to the same location. And like I said, this was actually going to be the queue line for the ride that was going to be built in the back of the German Pavilion. But sadly, it never happened. It was going to be for phase 2, but I guess it didn't happen. Let's look at the other menu. Okay, so here's the menu of the other place, which is the one that's buffet, which is the Bergarten, if I'm saying it correctly, which is Oktoberfest every day. And there's the price, noon to 3, adults 35, and dinner goes up to 41. In case you're interested. And again, this entrance goes to the same location as the other one. which comes over here, which is the entrance to the restaurant right over there. So make sure you check it out. If you do head over to the German Pavilion, make sure you go to this spot. It's the Caramel Couche, hopefully I'm saying it right, which has probably the most amazing chocolate in here. Let's go inside and I'll show you. They make the most amazing caramel popcorn here. You gotta try it, guys. Okay, so sadly I caved in. I had to get one of these pineapple covered chocolate things. It's just too good now. Like I said, if you're here, this is probably my favorite treat, which again, it's the pineapple one covered with chocolate. Make sure you give it a try and say that Disney Nuts sent you. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this now because I'm gonna eat this and I'll be right back. Now obviously for these types of shots, we're going to need a lens that can really get in there. And this is where the telephoto lens comes in. This is the one that I'm using for these types of shots. And basically this one is the stock camera lens that came with it. And it's basically a 75-300. And you can see how it basically extends. And 300 is a really good reach. Again, this is the stock lens that came with the camera with the kit when I bought it. But you'll definitely need something like this to be able to take these types of shots, because you really want to get in there nice and close and nice and tight to the conductor. Okay, now another really important tip when shooting this type of stuff is you got to make sure you shoot it in an angle. For example, I took the photo standing right here, and I shot the trains that were coming forward from that location. And the reason is that you want to be as far as possible so you can get the straight shot angle as possible instead of something that's going downward, which eventually will look weird and you won't be able to get the whole face of the conductor. Okay, another important tip is make sure you come here during the day, because these trains in that little town does not have any type of lighting at all. So it will be practically, I don't want to say impossible, but it's going to be really difficult to be able to shoot that. Plus, I think the trains don't run after certain hours. I think they take them in. So make sure you come during the day, and also full daylight is how you'll be able to get a really good crisp shot. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit this photo here quickly. It shouldn't be too difficult. And here we got 1/1000 of a second, which is what we set our camera for. F-stop 5.6, which is what the camera set up with the lens that it had on that time, which was the stock lens from the Canon, 75-300. And ISO, I left it at automatic and it came up as 5000. Okay, so here we got the conductor. He's just chilling out right here. As usual, let's go ahead and start from the top to the bottom. We don't need to touch the temperature. Exposure looks good. Again, try to do these type of shots during the day. The more daylight, the better, because that way the quality looks way better and ISO won't go up as much. Okay, so highlights, we bring this down a little bit so we can get some of the details here. Shadows, sure, why not? But we don't bring it up too much because we want the noise to start showing. Then we go to blacks. There we go, that looks pretty good. Clarity we can leave as it is, a little vibrance to give a little color. And then obviously we're going to crop in here a little bit. Now what I like to do when cropping stuff like this is to have these lines touch something, like it's a face or something. It sort of like gives it more structure to what we're trying to show here. So let's go ahead with something like this. And that way the line is somewhat almost there. There we go, right on the eyeball. And okay, that doesn't look too good. Let's go back and try that again. Let's put maybe his hand here on the line. That looks a little better. I'll open this out a little bit after the line is crossing through the eye and touching the hand. Bam! There we go. There's our photo. Now we can also, if we scroll down here a little bit more, we could probably adjust some of the colors. Like if we want to bring up the blue a bit. If we want to make it look like more like a train, like a shiny train, we can actually desaturate some of the colors. But I'm going to leave it as it is. Double tap to bring it down to 0. Another thing here, if you want any sharpening, and my usually rule is if I put something around 50, I'll put the noise reduction somewhat
half, or you know, in that range. And then we come down here and make sure we set the lens correction. This one didn't have it, so we went ahead and select Canon, and it should bring the rest of the information. There we go, nice and crisp. Now if you want, since the guy's obviously sitting inside a cabin, we could probably brighten that a little bit. So let's go ahead and have brighten brush here, and we're going to put exposure and just a tad. We don't want to bring it that much. And I'm going to put the brush for like 50%. I'll make it big here, and I'm just going to tap it once. That way I somewhat bring this guy out a little bit. Now if I come down here, we can see the mask. Let's bring it up a little more. So I want to just brighten that area a little bit. And bam, there it is. And there's our conductor. I think he's actually looking over here saying, what are you doing taking a photo of me? Got a goatee and everything. And that's it. There's a quick edit of the photo, guys.
Okay guys, so that's it here from the German Pavilion here at Epcot. Hopefully these tips you'll be able to use on some of the other shots around the parks. So again, don't feel limited to only try these types of settings in this type of situation and set up only here at the German Pavilion. Make sure you try them at other spots at Walt Disney World, and you'll be surprised of the results that you come up with, because you always come up with something different. So again, my name is Disney Nuts, and if this is the first time watching this channel, I take photos around the Disney parks, and I do how-to videos here, and I give tips on Instagram and other fun stuff as well. So make sure you hit subscribe and click the button. Until then guys, stay awesome.